Hello there, good afternoon and welcome to Good Afternoon Ghana here on Metro TV. My name is Desmond Okreku as well until 2 p.m. And of course, as always, we're here to discuss issues that bother us on the development of our dear country, Ghana. We're live on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana. You can join us live on there. Also on DSTV channel 277. You can find Metro TV on there. On your multi-TV digital box, you are live on there. And also on 94.1 FM on radio, we're live on there to be part of the program. Many thanks as always for joining us. Coming up on the show today, we have some very important conversations. I'm sure you must have seen on social media the clampdown on fraudsters. Yes, people are defrauding people, syndicates who are using, young men and women to defraud, via scams and all of those things. There's been a clampdown on them. We'll be talking about that, how that process has been so far. And then we get to talk about the Ghana Publishing Company Limited and how it has been so far. 1 year we'll be speaking to the PRO for the organization. Will be joining us on the show today. These are many more we'll be bringing to you right here on Good Afternoon Ghana. My name again is Desmond Okreku, and Helen Anyaweja is standing by to bring us the latest news updates. Helen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Desmond. Hope you're well.
I'm okay. It's been a very eventful morning, but
yes.
We're fine. Take us away.
Okay, all right. My name again is Helena Nyeweja, and we are starting right from here. Now, Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman has engaged with the heads of the International Monetary Fund's country and regional officers in Africa, using the platform to reflect on Ghana's economic experience amid heightened global concerns over debt and development finance. Now, the meeting held on January 20 provided the Vice President with the opportunity to align Ghana's improving microeconomic conditions and to situate the country's recovery within broader and continental and also global economic shifts.
Global at a moment when questions of debt, stability, and development finance sit at the heart of our future, not only of the country, but also of the continent, and also at the heart of the global economic resilience. Africa has been central to global growth for generations. What has often been missing is not value or potential, but fair valuation. Like every other region or economic zone, Africa faces economic challenges. Some are domestic, some are structural. Others arise from unequal trade terms and from shifting global economic goalposts. These are not excuses. They are realities that must be confronted honestly. Ghana's reality is markedly different from a year ago because the reforms driving our recovery have been nationally led, rigorously implemented, and supported by our partners, including the IMF. Inflation has dropped sharply from double digits to single digits, consistent with the target of the government and the independence of the central bank. The Ghana cedi has stabilized and at times appreciated against major currencies, helping to calm foreign exchange markets and restore confidence. As a result, the IMF Executive Board has completed multiple program reviews, enabling continued disbursements. Real GDP growth outperformed expectations in 2025, marking a recovery trajectory from the strains of an overheated economy. For us, the true measure of success is not only compliance with the program, but the restoration of confidence and policy autonomy. Stability, in our experience, cannot be imported. It must be built through discipline, institutions, and public confidence. As Ghana transcends the IMF-supported program, the direction of travel is clearer. IMF programs are neither painless nor perfect. But when economies are under stress, pragmatism, credibility, and discipline matter more than rhetoric. In the last quarter of 2025, I had the privilege of representing President Mahama at the EU Global Gateway event in Brussels, Agora in Palermo, and the AU-EU Summit in Rwanda. One message was consistently clear across all platforms, that Africa is ready to do more for herself while sustaining mutually beneficial partnerships with global institutions. Ghana's recovery demonstrates what is possible when strong national commitments meet coordinated multilateral support. This is not a perfect story, but it is a credible one. For Africa as a whole, the path forward requires responsibility and reform at home and globally. If we succeed, and we should succeed, Africa's stabilization will benefit Africans and strengthen the global economy that we all share. Welcome again to Ghana, to Accra, and enjoy the rest of your stay. Thank you very much.
Now, away from that, a fire outbreak has occurred at the Circle VVIP bus terminal in Accra, causing panic among commuters and traders in the area. The blaze, which broke out in the early hours, is reported to have affected parts of the busy transport hub, sending thick plumes of smoke into the sky and disrupting commercial and transport activities around Circle. Personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service were swiftly deployed to the scene and managed to bring the fire under control after several minutes of firefighting efforts. Although the exact causes of the fire is yet to be officially determined, eyewitnesses say the fire may have started from one of the commercial sections of the station. Now, no casualties have been confirmed at this stage, but several properties, including shops and station infrastructure, are feared to have been destroyed. Here are some videos from the scene and some eyewitness reports.
The assistant, this is electrical fault, because now they sell tickets for here, the front here. Where, as he say, like, smoke they come up from on a station back, small. So then, like, after 10 minutes later, he say, people started rushing, fire. We are around go there. So, I beg, if you people go get in connection with the fire service, you go tell them, say, the electrical problem, then forget electrician, you go, you can scan the wires for the battery. You can do here. The thing, the assistant, this is electrical fault, because now they sell tickets. The thing, the assistant, this is electrical fault, because now they sell tickets for here, the front here. Where, as he say,
we're in the office, 7 minutes past 10. We had a report. There was a fire outbreak around here, and we dispatched one of the fire engines. Around 8 minutes past 10, we dispatched the and then seeing the way the fire was, we had to go for another point to come. But now, after we have fire engines, we were one or two I have to see the thunder. What kind of was that? How many times I got to the room? I started from the kiosk. One kiosk behind him. And now we are going to do some items.
Now, away from that, members of Pressure Group Arise Ghana on Tuesday, January 20, 2026, staged a picket at the United States Embassy in Accra, demanding the return of former Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, to Ghana to face justice. The protesters who gathered outside the embassy premises called on U.S. authorities to cooperate with Ghanaian institutions to ensure Ofori-Atta return, insisting that accountability must be enforced without exception. Sorry, we have some hitches there. Now, let's get on to other stories. Now, legendary Ghanaian gospel musician and founder of the Asomafo Gospel Group, Yaw Sarpong, has died. The news of his passing was confirmed by Nana Poku Ashes, his manager. Further details surrounding his death are yet to be officially disclosed. His death comes barely a month after the passing of Mami Tiwa, a key pillar of Yaw Sarpon's Asoma folk music group, a loss that deeply affected the gospel music fraternity. Yaw Sarpon had for some years been battling ill health, occasionally stepping back from public performances as he focused on treatment and recovery. Widely regarded as one of the most influential figures in Ghana's gospel music history, Yaw Sarpon rose to national prominence as the leader of Yaw Sarpon and Asomafo, a group that shaped the sound and structure of modern Akan gospel music. The group became known for its strong lyrical content and disciplined musical style rooted in Christian doctrine. That's rather an unfortunate one, but away from that, the Ghanaian ambassador to the United States and director of presidential initiatives in agriculture and agribusiness at the presidency, Dr. Peter Boama Otukono, have held a strategic meeting with a senior managing director for international trade and investment, David Brill, in Harrisburg, PA, to explore investment opportunities in Ghana's agricultural sector and deepen bilateral cooperation.
The engagements formed part of Ghana's broader economic diplomacy efforts to position the country as a regional hub for agricultural production and agribusiness, with direct access to the wider African market. Ambassador Victor highlighted Ghana's strategic location, stable investment climate, and growing consumer markets, making it an ideal gateway for American agribusinesses seeking expansion into Africa. Particular attention was given to agricultural products in which Pennsylvania has established expertise, including dairy, vanilla, and related value-added products. David Brill focused on how Pennsylvania's businesses could expand into Ghana in ways that are mutually beneficial, supporting Ghana's food security and agro-industrial development, while enabling Pennsylvania-based companies to scale their operations and reach new markets across the continent. Food technology featured prominently in the discussions, with both sides examining opportunities for collaboration in modern farming systems, processing, storage, cold chain logistics, and agro-processing technologies. These innovations were identified as critical to improving productivity, reducing post-harvest losses, and enhancing the competitiveness of Ghana's agricultural exports. Dr. Peter Boama Otukono outlined the government of Ghana's commitment to agriculture and agribusiness as a key pillar of national development, emphasizing policies and initiatives designed to attract investment, encourage technology transfer, and create sustainable jobs, particularly for young people. The Ghanaian ambassador reiterated Ghana's openness to partnerships that go beyond trade to include knowledge sharing, innovation, and long-term value creation, noting that collaboration with Pennsylvania presents a strong opportunity to align expertise, markets, and development goals. The meeting with Business PA marks another important step in strengthening Ghana-US agricultural ties and demonstrates Ghana's readiness to work with American partners to transform agriculture into a driver of economic growth, regional trade, and shared prosperity.
Now let's turn our attention to other matters. A passionate call has been made for the renaming of the Kotoka International Airport to Kwame Nkrumah International Airport, describing the current name as a symbol of national contradiction and unease that undermines Ghana's founding story. Stephen Odatefio, a concerned citizen, at a press conference argued that Kotoka is not widely linked to major national development projects beyond this military carrier.
Addressing a press conference to launch the advocacy, concerned citizen Stephen Odatefio urged President John Dramani Mahama, Parliament, the judiciary, traditional rulers, religious leaders, and all Ghanaians to support the change. He emphasized that the issue transcends politics and policy, touching the very spirit of the nation.
In all humility, but with firmness, and we ask, how did we get to the point of honoring a coup era figure at the very doorpost of our republic. Because an airport is not just a name. It's a country's first handshake. It's our first greeting. It's Ghana's first sentence to the world. And so today we rally a call to the conscience of our nation. And to Parliament, we say, heed our call. In the coming days, we shall present a petition to the leadership of the Honorable Speaker, the Majority Leader, the Minority Leader, the Chairperson of the Transport Committee, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, and the Minister for Transport. To the judiciary, I say, heed the constitutional call of the Democracy Hub and answer with clear constitutional clarity on this matter.
He noted that 2026 marks 60 years since the 1966 overthrow of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's founder and the African of the Millennium, and recalled how the airport was renamed in 1967 after Lieutenant General E.K. Kotoka, who was killed during the failed Operation Gitambwe counter-coup. Comparing Ghana to other countries like Kenya, Tanzania, Nigeria, and Cote d'Ivoire, he stressed that major airports are typically named after unifying leaders or cities, not figures tied to unconstitutional power seizures.
We can teach the story of Kotoka and the NLC in our schools. We can debate that past in our books and our documentaries. We can preserve his memory in our museums. But the name at the doorpost of our republic must be that which unites us, that which uplifts us, and that which we are proud to present to the world. And so I cannot and we cannot be proud of the name Kotoka International Airport when he's not associated with any major developmental project in our country. We cannot be proud of the name Kotoka when his coup d'etat created an abyss of political instability for the next 30 years in Ghana's history, allowing countries like South Korea to leapfrog us. We cannot be proud of the name Kotoka when every single airport in this world is either named after the city in which they are located or after an iconic or revolutionary figure.
The advocates urged that Kotoka's name, associated primarily with the coup that introduced political instability, is repeated more globally than those of the unifying figures like Kofi Annan, J.B. Dankwa, or former presidents Rawlings, Kufuor, Mills, and Akufo-Addo.
Now, away from that, in its quest to enhance university programs in Ghana, the West Africa Center for Crop Improvement has introduced green solutions, sustainability modules, and digital transformation initiatives in 3 universities in Ghana. The project focuses on 3 key areas: energy, water, and agriculture, and targets sustainable development through modernized curricula and digitalization.
The Impression Project is a transformative educational initiative funded by the European Union under the Erasmus program. It aims to enhance university programs in Ghana by introducing to them green solutions, sustainability modules, and digital transformation. Speaking to the media, Director of Impression Project, Florian Balmains, mentioned that the project have improved the quality of study programs in water resources development, sustainable energy engineering management, and crop sciences, while promoting gender equality and digitalization within the educational framework.
Having introduced digital transformation steps in the teaching environment by introducing massive open online courses, we could go one step further, for example, introducing virtual reality as a technology that we've established recently in Germany, for example, and is very well received by the students. They really like it. It's a playful way to deal with topics, to learn, and that could be a next step in bringing Ghana, the whole country actually, making it a leader for digital teaching.
The Director of Biotechnology Center of the University of Ghana, Dr. John Eleblu, noted that by enhancing the curriculum, the teaching skills, and the infrastructure, Impression would prepare Ghanaian future graduates for the market.
With the tools that we have, lecturers can pre-record lectures, take their time, explain concepts into detail for students, and also engage them in class. And so it's an added-on tool that is at the disposal of lecturers. And students will benefit from this a great lot because some students may not be feeling well and may not come to class. how would they be able to access knowledge that was transferred during classes? So we are seeing how better to communicate and ensure that our students are always well informed and they always receive the training that is due.
The project is implemented by the University of Energy and Natural Resources, the University of Ghana, and the University of Environment and Sustainable Development, and is expected to have a significant impact on Ghana's education system and its stability to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030.
Now, away from that, Ghana's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Sabazita Benson, has appealed to Ghanaian PhD students in the UK to exercise patience as efforts continue to clear outstanding scholarship payments, including school fees and stipends. Ahead now, the High Commissioner said she's working closely with the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat to facilitate the release of funds and assured affected students that payment would be made once resources are available.
I can assure them that I'm doing everything possible as High Commissioner here to make sure that some monies are sent to us here to resolve this issue. I am in touch with the Scholarship Secretariat, and they have assured me that by the end of first quarter, some monies will be sent to us. And hopefully when that money is sent, I'll be able to pay across, because it is not just the PhD students, we have master students as well. So whatever monies we get will be shared across to PhD students and to master students. My doors are open for negotiations. I'm already fighting on their behalf with Ministry of Education and the Scholarship Secretariat. So we are their first point of call. But that being said, when they are ready, they can come in and have that discussion. If they also want to exercise their right of protest, when they come, we will receive them.
The High Commissioner also assured the students she is doing everything within her power to ensure that some resources are made available by close of the first quarter of 2026.
First of all, I would like to let them know that I feel their pain. I hear them, I see them, and it's unfortunate that we all find ourselves in this situation. This situation wasn't created in a day. It was created over the years from 2020 to 2025. What we have been trying to do is to resolve the situation, and I will call on all parties to exercise restraint whilst we try to find solution to the situation that we find ourselves in. I personally came to meet a legacy debt of £35 million. Last year, we paid £3 million out of the £35 million. And like I said earlier, it's a legacy debt that was left from 2020, 2021 to 2025. With this planned protest, you know, the modus operandi of this PhD cohort is always to run to the media before coming to the table for us to have a discussion. And for instance, last October 2025, was it October or November, they did write a petition to me. Before I even received the petition, they were already on the media discussing the petition and threatening to go on protest. And then shortly after, they wrote a letter to Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, you know, telling the Prime Minister to force government to come and pay the £5 million that they, as PhD students, owed the various institutions. I found that very unfortunate, because we are a sovereign country, and running to, you know, another country to get their Prime Minister to force your government to come and pay these debts, you know, for me, it's marks of a bit of colonialism. Which doesn't sit well with me, but it's what they decided to do. It's unfortunate, but they did that.
Let's do some social stories this afternoon, as the water crisis at Adidome Senior High School has intensified. Now, the school has not received water supply for some time now, and the school reportedly owes the community water company outstanding water bills amounting to over 120,000 Ghana cedis. According to the students, they have been without water for more than 2 weeks since reopening, making daily life on campus extremely difficult. The students are therefore calling on the government, particularly the Ministry of Education, to urgently intervene and resolve the long-standing water crisis in the school. There's more.
Senior High School has been grappling with a severe water crisis for the past 3 years and is currently without a reliable water supply following the disconnection of its main system due to unaccumulated unpaid bills. The situation has significantly disrupted teaching and learning, compromised sanitation, and exposed students to serious health risks. As a result, many students are compelled to trek long distances to fetch water from a nearby river, an unsafe source that poses grave health hazards. Some students who leave class hours in search of water but often return empty-handed have shared their frustrations with Metro News.
We've been walking from junction to junction and then there is no water. So if students are outside by this time, then what time will we get to them? So please, government, help us so that we get water to go, so that we can be able to study to be the future leaders of this country.
There is no water on campus and we are so we want to have the government to come and help us. Because we walk from the school to this place, it takes almost 30 minutes to come and reach here. We are missing lessons.
Don't bath because sometimes you can walk the road and you don't get water. So the only way to survive is to wear your uniform and go to school or go to friends, just like that.
Because of this, I can say it's a major reason why we are feeling our WASSCE 2. Because we jump classes that we are supposed to attend, all because of water crisis. So we need the help from government to come and help us.
The Vice Chairman of the Parent-Teacher Association, Moses Awukuvi, says the situation continues to negatively affect academic work. He has therefore appealed.
And Form 2 currently have to travel to town very far to get water. Even the nearest water source at the Youth Assembly, sometimes they go there, they cannot have access to the water. Just as you have come, you have seen what is happening. They still have to walk all the time to town. Even sometimes people have to go to the lake, fetch, and come and meet them along the roadside before they could come back to campus to use. As it stands, students of Adidome Senior High School have no option but to continue trekking long distances in search of water, a situation that poses serious health risks and disrupts effective teaching and learning.
Now, members of pressure group Arise Ghana on Tuesday, January 20, 2020, Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, to Ghana to face justice. The protesters who gathered outside the embassy premises called on the U.S. authorities to cooperate with Ghanaian institutions to ensure Ofori-Atta return, insisting that accountability must be enforced without exception. According to the group, the demonstration was aimed at pressing home their demand that the former finance minister return to Ghana to face justice, arguing that no public official should be allowed to evade accountability. Here are excerpts from the protest.
What his lawyers have been saying.
That what?
That he is abroad for security and health reasons.
Which security? Is Ken more important than Matthew Poku Prempeh, who is going through investigations in the hands of the OSP and then Iyoko? Is Ken more special than the current chief of staff, Julius Debra, who in 2017 until 2024 was a daily visit to the Economic and Organized Crime Office for investigations?
We decided to wait to see if Ken would return on his own to answer to the good people of Ghana. Yet it is over a year and then Ken hasn't returned. Per the recent happenings in the U.S., that is the U.S. immigration detaining him, when the ambassador of Ghana decided to intervene to make sure that his human rights are not infringed upon, and also based on the fact that we Ghanaians knew that he went to the U.S. based on health grounds, they wanted to know if he was fit for detention. And the United States immigration told the ambassador that Ken was fit for detention. So it meant that Ken had recovered, yet he would not return to Ghana here to account to the good people of Ghana.
We said our demonstration is going to be an indefinite demonstration, a picketing. And so today we want to assess the ground. We are not coming with numbers. Picketing is not like a demonstration. We come here to assess the ground and to see whether we'll get.
This is where we wrap up for the news updates on here. My name is Helena Nyojan. But before I let go of you, Desmond is standing by. But Desmond, Circle, there's a fire outbreak. You were there. What's exactly happened and what are your thoughts?
Right, Helen, thank you very much. So I know earlier we did the news about the incident at Circle. Just about 10 a.m., I was just on the overhead, and then I saw thick smoke from Circle. So I got closer to find out what exactly was happening at the area. So when I got there, that's why I saw fire, really, at the... So when you get to Circle, the VVIP station, just behind the yard where people sit and wait for the vehicles, behind the wall, that's where the fire was coming from. And then that was when the fire service, about 2 tenders had come in, trying to navigate their way into the area and try to douse out the flames. But they found it very difficult to do so. So you had people who had shops around taking some of the things from their shops. And you know Circle to be a phone hub, right? So for Max Buy, they were taking everything from their shop and trying to take it to safety and all of that. So you'd see just close to the VVIP, there's a public toilet just around that area, behind that place, that enclave. That was where the fire was moving, and it was crazy how the fire was moving, and the fire service personnel were trying to find ways to get to that point because it was behind that wall. So some of the traders were helping to push down one of the walls of the VVIP to try and get, the water hose to that other side to be able to help with the flames. And it's been a very difficult task for them. Really, this is like probably the first time I've seen rigorous work from the Ghana National Fire Service trying to douse out flames, and it's been very difficult because
you were right there when the fire service came.
Right. I was there when the fire service came in.
Did it take them a long time for them to come?
It took them a while to find their way into the place where the fire had gutted, and it was very difficult for them. And let me tell you that you see the fire service station under the overhead at Circle.
Yeah.
There's nothing working.
Wow.
In fact, I was told by one of the security officials that when the incident happened, he went to the fire service station at Circle under the overhead to inform them about it. They said they had no cars. In fact, when we passed there was only one fire service car there, which I'm told is spoiled. So you could imagine how swift it would have been just from under the overhead to the VVIP station. So they had to call from other stations to come around and help with the flames. They tried their bit. Trying to understand how the fire started has been very difficult because different accounts. But one of the women who lost their shop, she was mentioning to me that apparently it was an explosion of a gas cylinder that began the fire at the area. And the chief fire officer of the Ghana National Fire Service, Daniela Mausi Into Sapong, came there to assess. I saw some officials from Korle Klottey Municipal Assembly also there to assess the extent of the damage. And so we'll keep tabs on that and bring more details of that subsequently. But we need to be very careful in our markets. These fire incidents, again, at Circle, very sad.
An unfortunate one, especially for the fact that, the issue of cars and all that. I think that the equipment their services need so that their work become easier should be provided as soon as possible, so that, they are able to respond to matters like this as soon as possible, so that we don't lose lives and properties as well. But thank you for the update, and this is where I will take leave of you. My name is Helena Nyoweja.
All right, Helen, thank you very much for bringing us the news updates. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I mentioned earlier that today we're having conversations about the fights against internet fraud and other related crimes with the Cybersecurity Authority. We're talking to the Acting Director of Communications, International Cooperation and Strategic Partnerships, who will be joining me, and also we're talking to the Head of Communications from the Ghana Publishing Company Limited, about the company and how it has been so far. So we're taking a break. When we come back, we'll delve into that. But let me also remind you that we're bringing to you a live feed from the quarters of Engineer Kwabena Ejapong, an aspirant for the NPP's presidential primaries. He's got something to say to Ghanaians and to delegates. We'll bring that to you. So stay with us. We'll be back shortly after the break.
Welcome to GH Schools, your #1 training institute that offers practical-based tuition in media and a variety of skill acquisition-related areas. At GH Media School, we offer journalism and media studies, journalism and media arts, TV and film production, and multimedia production. Also, you are assured of the best beauty training with GH Cosmetology School. We offer training in massage and body therapy, makeup artistry, hair technology. Realize your dream of becoming an astute fashion designer with GH Fashion School. Here, we offer training in bridal wear, suits, ladies and men's wear, children's wear, and millinery. Do you have the interest of preparing sumptuous and tasty foods that meet local and international standards? Then, GH Catering School is the best place for you. We offer training in cookery, pastry and beverage production, events decoration, and hotel management. Be abreast with the current technological trends as you train with GH Technology School. We offer computer systems, hardware and software, CCTV installation, home security, and many more. GH Schools makes available well-equipped studios and workstations to give our learners the practical and industrial standard experience during tuition. Hostel facilities are also available. Instant admission is in progress. Register now. Purchase your admission forms online on www.admissions.gaschools.online. Locate us at Achimota Abofu Junction, opposite the Shell filling station. You can also contact us on 0544 622 250, 0577 622 250, 0204 622 250, and 0277 622 250. GH Schools. We say train, practice, achieve.
Good morning, Mr. Ting.
Good morning, Ejako. And why do you keep staring at my rubbish container?
I'm surprised you're still using a bin without a cover. You know it can cause a mess.
My bin is just fine. Look, there is no leakage, still solid and robust. If you will excuse me, I have work to do.
Yo.
Dustbins are a great way of keeping trash off the streets and homes. However, the use of bins without fitting covers poses a challenge with stench from rotten items, flies, and scavengers. Keep the environment clean and healthy. Get dustbins with fitting covers.
In every school, there is history. In every homecoming, there is pride. But in 2025, pride became competition. From convoys that shook the streets to colors worn with honor, from powerful reunions to legacy projects that will stand forever. Metro TV asked one bold question: which school truly owned the legacy in 2025? Welcome to Schools Homecoming 2025. Who is who? Send your school name, convoy videos, speech and prize giving highlights, and your 2025 legacy projects to 0550 090 702. Schools Homecoming, my school, my pride. This event is sponsored by Zoom Lion and Appointed Time Printing. Schools Homecoming 2025 is a Metro TV event supported by Original TV, Original 91.9 FM, and Metro Digital. Welcome back from the break. You're still watching us here on Metro TV. My name is Desmond Okreku-Danswa. We're live on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana. You can join us live on there. Also on DSTV channel 277. On radio, it is 94.21 FM. You can join us live on there also and share your comments with us on our social media handles. I mentioned earlier before the break that we have two very important conversations coming up on the show today. And the very first one we'll be having will be about the Ghana Publishing Company Limited. We'll be looking at operations at the company in the past year. And the head of corporate affairs is here with us, Lantam Papanko. This is his second time in a few months. The last time I was here, we were talking about Gazette 360, but today we're looking at everything all together, how it has been at the Ghana Publishing Company Limited. So let's get right into it. Lantam, good afternoon. Welcome to the program and a happy new year to you. And please, can you put your microphone on? The knob. Yes. Yes. Is it on now? Yes, it's on now. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me and many happy returns.
Right.
How's the new year been for you?
We don't have any expectation. We always come here. That is the work, right?
I know, right? I know.
That's what it is. But it's been
okay.
We can only count on the mercies of God
to
see us through each day. And for you?
Well, the year has been okay. I mean, the year started on a positive note.
Right.
And so we are hopeful that by the end of the year, it will be a year that ends well. And so I like how things are going this year so far, especially for us at the Ghana Publishing Company Limited.
Right.
We are very optimistic that this year we're going to have an absolutely amazing year based on the things that we've been able to do throughout last year. So moving into this year, we believe that we'll even do more. And so that gives me some joy, and I'm pretty optimistic about the year. We started well, so I hope it continues like that.
Right. You were able to achieve your goals for 2025?
Well,
as the year closed?
Yeah, we were able to do a lot of significant things, throughout the year 2025. You know that the new administration or the new management took over in February 2025, so it's not even a year.
Right.
I mean, next month will be a year, so it's not even a year. So let's say 10, 11 months, since the new administration took over. And in that span of 11 months or so, quite a lot has been done at the Ghana Publishing Company Limited. And like I mentioned earlier, that is what gives me the optimism that this year is even going to be better. And so I'm looking forward to coming back again at the end of this year and telling you that we've been able to do A, B, C, D, and it has put the Ghana Publishing Company Limited, and for that matter, the entire country in a better position than it was at the beginning of the year.
Right, so since coming in February, what three things we can look at were the goals for the company, and at the end of 2025, if you're able to achieve that?
Essentially, the goal for the management when they came in was to lift up the Ghana Publishing Company Limited and make it even more profitable than it already was. Right? And to be able to streamline the work of the Ghana Publishing Company Limited and make it a household name, so to speak, or make it one of the state-owned enterprises that is actually working well and making profits. Mind you, the Ghana Publishing Company Limited is not government subvented. It's a state-owned enterprise.
Okay.
What that means is that it is 100% owned by government. Government owns 100% shares, but government doesn't give it money. Government has set up a company, has shares in the company, and is expecting the company to run, make a profit, and declare dividends and pay dividends to it. So the government doesn't give the Ghana Publishing Company Limited any money whatsoever. In fact, the government is expecting to get money from us for it to do what it needs to do. And so the main goal of Ghana Publishing Company Limited is to be able to meet that expectation of government, right? And I believe that we've been able to do that, in the past year or so that we've been there. Right. And so the Ghana Publishing Company Limited, when we began this year, one of the very first things that we did was start a 24-hour shift. You know that this government has a 24-hour economy policy that they want various companies to plug into. When you look at the state-owned enterprises across the length and breadth of the country, the Ghana Publishing Company Limited was the very first to do that. And the effect of that is we've been able to become more efficient, and our services have become services that you can get now in speed. So, for example, one of our core mandates is to publish the Ghana Gazette. Right. And I have a copy of the Ghana Gazette here. You know that the Gazette is, a government document, essentially, that information that the government wants to put in there, election results, you want to change your name, you want to correct your date of birth, you want to take on your husband's name, election results need to be gazetted, there is a chief, the chief needs to be gazetted, all of these things, right? So what a gazette is. Of course, from our education on Gazette 360 last year, you may well know. So if you wanted to get a gazette previously, there were two ways you could get it. You could either get it in about 6 weeks, or you could get it in 1 week. There was a premium gazette which you'd get in 1 week, and there was the regular gazette which you get in about 6 weeks. Now, because we started doing 24 hours, we've been able to drastically reduce the turnaround time for producing a gazette or for getting a gazette. And so now, if you were to apply for a gazette today, that's the regular one, you would get it in 3 weeks. If you wanted to get it sooner than 3 weeks, you could get it in 3 days, and that is the premium gazette. And then we introduced a third tier, which is the Premium Plus, which makes it possible for you to get a gazette in 24 hours. So it means if you came to our office right now and you applied for the gazette, you could come back tomorrow at the same time and pick it up, right? So the 24-hour system that we are running at the Ghana Publishing Company Limited has enabled us to do that. And it would also interest you to know that because we've been able to become so efficient in doing our work, and we've been able to print the budget of Ghana. Previously, the Ghana Publishing Company Limited is not the one that was printing it. It was outsourced to private people, by governments, because there was no trust in the Ghana Publishing Company Limited to be able to do it and do it on time. Because sometimes, by the time the finance minister and his team are able to finalize and cross all the T's and dot the I's, it's about 11 a.m. It's about 11 p.m., about 12 a.m., and that is when they are bringing it to the Ghana Publishing Company Limited that, okay, now we have the budget ready, print it, and it has to be in Parliament, the next morning. And we're actually able to do that and meet it in record time. I have a copy of the 2026 budget here, right?
How long did it take you to put this together?
It took us one night. Just one night. So they brought it very late. We went into, our printing rooms and all of that, and then we got the document and then we printed it. By morning, we shipped it to Parliament, and you can see how voluminous it is. Right. And this is quality work that was done by the Ghana Publishing Company Limited. If we had not been able to improve our capacity, and if we had not been able to do 24 hours, it would have been very, very, previously, maybe staff would be forced to do overtime and collect monies for overtime. But now we are running 24 hours, and so that is not even necessary. And that has enabled us to do a whole lot of things. And this is just one.
Has it been,
of the things that we've done.
Implementing that?
Implementing the 24 hours.
24 hours.
No, it was not. It was not. When management proposed, when the new managing director, Nana Kwesi Boete, Esquire, came in and proposed to management that, looking at our staff strength and looking at what we do here, we can run 24 hours. There was support for it. Management gave him the support. The union, the local union at GPCL, gave him the support. And within 3 weeks, it was implemented. Within 3 weeks of him assuming office, it was implemented.
So that's how many staff doing that?
Well, there's a staff strength right now of a little over 200 thereabout. About more than 200 thereabout. So what happened was that you realize that the company was literally overstaffed because so many people working, and then
there was little to do.
Yes. And there was little to do, and then you work in the morning from, say, 8 o'clock, and then when it's 4:30, everybody picks up their bag and then they go. So if there is a printing job or something that is happening, when it's 4:30, they put off all the machines that they've closed, and then they go home. Otherwise, you have to pay them overtime for them to continue. And that is not an efficient way of doing things. And so the managing director thought that, we could run 24 hours. So let's divide the staff into two. for some to come in the morning shift and for some to come in the night shift, because we have the numbers to be able to do this. Otherwise, the managing director literally would have had to sack a lot of people for being redundant, because, you know, there was clearly overstaffing there. But the 24 hours saved jobs at the Ghana Publishing Company Limited and enabled everybody to be more productive than they already were. And then when that also happened, a little leeway and room has been made available for even a few more people to be employed, additionally to be able to do the work that we are doing at the Ghana Publishing Company Limited. So this is one of the major things that we've been able to do. So when you come there, we're able to notice that we are running more efficiently than we used to. One of the other things that we've also been able to do, for example, is to have the creation of some new departments, right? There used to be no quality control department. And when you are doing printing, you need to be able to monitor the quality of what you are doing before it goes out to the clients. There was no quality control department. I mean, it was just production, it is done, and sometimes clients would complain about the quality of the work, you know, and all of that. But what the new quality control department does is that before any job that is done by Ghana Publishing Company Limited goes out, we are crossing every T, we are dotting every I, we are ensuring that the client is getting the best quality work. We are making sure that the right materials are used. We are making sure that even the font size that the client is looking for is used properly, and all of that, to be able to make sure that the entire production process is scrutinized and it's monitored, so that when the finished product comes out, there are no qualms about it. So there's a new quality control department. There's a legal department. Imagine a state-owned enterprise which deals with legal things, like the Ghana Gazette. Does not have a legal department, right? There is now a legal department. Now there is a proper marketing and sales team that are going out, bringing in jobs even from the private sector. The Ghana Publishing Company Limited doesn't print only for government. We are a printing press. Yes, we have the mandates of printing and publishing the Ghana Gazette. Constitutionally, we are the only institution mandated to do that. That is a core mandate, that is a given. But aside that, we are also a printing press, a commercial printing press, because mind you, we have to make money and declare dividends to government. And so we are doing jobs for private firms as well. And the sales and marketing team are going out, they are bringing in business. We are printing flyers, we are printing posters, we are printing banners, we are printing complimentary cards, we are printing textbooks. We've even printed textbooks, nursing textbooks for schools in countries like Sierra Leone, you know, among other things. We are doing all of these things, right, at the Ghana Publishing Company Limited. So these are things that we are very, very proud of, to be able to streamline the activities and the operations of the Ghana Publishing Company Limited. We've also opened a digital press center. We used to do, anybody who knows printing knows that, you know, there's the digital printing, there's the offset printing. A lot of the operations of the Ghana Publishing Company Limited was offset printing, right? And in the time that this new management has been there, and the last time the president visited, he inaugurated a new digital printing center, right? Okay. So it was an old abandoned warehouse, you know, that was converted into a very modern digital printing center, because usually if anybody wanted to do digital printing, they would have to go to Newtown, right? But now we are playing in that space as well.
So they come
ultra modern with, yes, they come to us. So I mean, with your flyers for your funerals, for your weddings, for your, you know, whatever, we're able to do all of those things at the Ghana Publishing Company Limited, which previously we were not able to do. So these are just a few of the things that we've, you know, been able to do at the Ghana Publishing Company Limited. And the year ended well for us. And because management has been able to put things in place, streamline even the finances of the company so that things are not being siphoned and all of that, at the end of the year, we've been able to put ourselves in a position where, and I believe that you heard the managing director talk about the fact that, you know, we've been able to have at least a fixed deposit of 15 million, which is internally generated for the Ghana Publishing Company Limited, sitting in the bank as something that is an asset to the country. So quite a lot has been done, you know, since the new management took over the Ghana Publishing Company
Limited.
And
those are quite impressive initiatives from the outfit. What did the president's visit to the company mean to you, really?
Well, it was an endorsement of the good work that the management is doing at the Ghana Publishing Company Limited. For the president to notice that usually state-owned enterprises are in distress. They are declaring losses. They are not doing well. They are asking government for money and all of that. But to have a state-owned enterprise which is actually running and making profits and is not asking government for money, and all the things that are happening there are being touted, and the president decides that, okay, then let me come and see what is happening here at the Ghana Publishing Company Limited, that I've been hearing that they are doing, such a good work. So, I mean, to us at GPCL, this is the very first time in the Fourth Republic that any president has visited the Ghana Publishing Company Limited. So we're very proud of that. It means the president is taking notice of the things that is being done by the management of the Ghana Publishing Company Limited and the board, of course, the management led by Nana Kwesi Boateng. And so we're very happy about that.
Okay, so you're still watching us here on Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Desmond Okreku, and I'm speaking to Lantam Papako, who is the head of corporate affairs for the Ghana Publishing Company Limited. We're taking a look at the operations of the company in the past year, but also let me remind you that we're bringing to a live feed of Engineer Kwabena Agyapong's message to delegates. We'll be getting you that feed as and when it comes through. So, Lantam, I've seen this that you've shown us.
This is the budget.
Yeah, looks very.
That we printed.
Looks very good.
Of course.
Very, very, very good.
Of course, we don't do mediocre work at the Ghana. We are a world class. I dare to say that we are a world class, printing press.
So you've got quality.
So look at the quality of work that we've done, right? And this is why, the finance ministry will trust that the Ghana Publishing Company Limited can, print the budget. I mean, if you can show it to the cameras, right? This is the quality of work. So this is the quality of work that we do. I mean, you should have seen the textbooks we printed, the nursing textbooks we printed for, the nursing school in Sierra Leone. You should see the books, that we do. You should see the quality of work that we do. And so, I mean, this is even our newsletter, right? I mean, GPCL didn't even used to have a newsletter, so this is a newsletter, that we also did. If you come to our premises, you'll be able to get a copy of the newsletter and see some of the things.
How's Nana Boateng Esquire like?
Nana Kwesi Boateng?
Yes.
I see him as a firm leader and a go-getter.
Okay.
Yes, he's somebody who, if he wants something to be done, it gets done. If he has a vision that he wants to implement, there is nothing like it cannot be done in his vocabulary. For example, when he came in and said, we can do 24 hours, I mean, in 3 weeks. He went ahead and in 3 weeks, it is done. We'll do a digital printing center. He went ahead and it is done. We'll have a quality control. We went ahead and it is done. So many things. So I see him as somebody who is a man of his word. When he says he wants to get something done, he gets it done.
Right. So I mentioned that we've got to take a feed from Engineer Kwabena Agyapong as he speaks to delegates ahead of the January 31 NPP presidential primary, as is contested 4 others in there. So we've got the feed now. I'm going to hold on to Lantam for a while as we take the feed, and when we come back, we continue with our conversation about the Ghana Publishing Company Limited.
That the marriage will take place November 23rd, and that is the exact date that we got married. Now, I'm sharing this story because it reveals KA's character. Kwabena Agyapong is an optimist who sees potential where others see none. He is a visionary who chases big dreams, a leader with the courage to make hard decisions and the unique ability to inspire others to achieve the impossible. When Kwabena gives you his word, it is his bond. When he commits, it's a covenant.